All right, here we are, Impact and Influence Radio, right here on Opera. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento, Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. Give them a call, 916-790-8689 or blindsofsacramento.com. Now today, we've got a really, really special somebody in here. We've got Suren Dias. We met over at the event at the barn in West Sacramento. That was the Alliance for Community Development. Melanie Nooney. What an incredible event. Wow. What
Shout out to Melanie.
Yeah, it's funny. I just talked to her for like 15 minutes ago. She'll be at tomorrow night's event. Wonderful event. And I'll give you all the details on that one before we get out of here. But Suren, what I really liked about you was, you know, you're like a Labrador or a Golden Retriever. You are just, are just full of energy and so damn happy and so eager to help people. And that is just so infectious and so amazing. And I thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you, good sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I want to get into who you are and what you do. So who is Suren Dias?
Well, I guess I am just another happy-go-lucky Labrador. But no, honestly, I just want to be seen as a skillful guy that wants to help people. I do a lot of staffing and strategic AI consulting, whatever it is, but ultimately just helping folks out. That's it.
Where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from the Bay Area.
Were you born here in the States?
I was born and raised here despite the accent.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I actually I went and I lived in Sri Lanka for a bit. Picked up the language. But you know, that means I can speak well in Sinhala, one of the languages there. And apparently I came back with an accent after like learning the language. So that
interesting. Where were you from in the Bay?
Martinez.
Okay.
Yeah. Right across from the bridge.
Now, where's your family from?
They're from Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So both my parents are basically from Lanka proper, and they were born, raised there, and then came over here in the 1990s.
And so, do they have an accent?
They don't. They don't. I'm the only one in my family with an accent. It is
You're
wild.
doing the family
and like,
proud,
wait.
right?
Now I think I'm speaking in an accent. Now I don't think I'm speaking in an accent. So it's like this weird little subconscious, semi-conscious tonal. I don't even know how that works.
I heard it when you said .com.
Right.
Say what's your website?
It's simgemini.com. SYM.
So you can hear it.
Yeah.
I love it. That is so cool.
It is so strange. It's the beauty of language, right?
I love it.
Right?
It is so cool. No, my wife is she's from Uzbekistan.
Oh,
and then I was born in England. What? And so that's why I asked, because Sacramento is just this wonderful place
Melting
of
pot.
so many different cultures, and it's just incredible.
It's amazing. Uzbekistan. I've always wanted to visit the Stans.
Yes.
There's so much history out there.
Oh my God! Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. She's from Tashkent. So let's get into what you do. What does Suren Dias do?
So pretty much, I go into businesses of all sizes, whether like pretty small, large enterprise, even some gov contracts and things like that. And we figured out whether or not they actually need to kind of like implement AI solutions into their business or not. And we pretty much just, give that free complimentary strategic kind of like advice and consulting and staff people from offshore overseas in Lanka, Sri Lanka, right? Hence the accent, everything like that. That's pretty much it.
So you have staff over there that now, one of the things that you had mentioned is you said you're helping people come out of poverty.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, so talk to me about this.
So effectively in Sri Lanka, it's very different. Like people that have traveled around the world can kind of like resonate with this, but we're very blessed here in the US.
Oh, yes, we are.
Extremely
You see
blessed.
where we live and what we're doing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
And the standard of living, the quality of life and everything like that is just naturally just on a separate level for reasons that are beyond kind of like our own doing or merit, right? It's just an ambient environmental thing. And over in Lanka and in many other countries, that's not the case. There's a lot of just poverty at a scale that I don't think people really understand. And it's people though, like people are people the world around. Smile is a smile the world around, and a skillfulness of people. There's like light in everyone, right? And the thing is, in Lanka, there are so many great, skillful people that aren't getting the opportunities necessarily to kind of like just, let's say, socioeconomically uplift themselves. So what I'm trying to do is build out a business or a system, right? Business systems and whatnot, right? To really help get people out of those kind of, let's say, states is one thing, and give people the ability to also give back, like help them build these systems, help grow the business, help them grow other business, all of that type of stuff over in Lanka.
Now, where did this come about? Did you just wake up one day and you said, this is what I want to do?
No.
Or did it just, it just kind of fell into your lap? Like, where did all this come from?
Great question. So effectively, my father, he has one of Sri Lanka's oldest IT offshore firms. Basically, it's like one of their first ones out there. It's fairly well established on a couple of projects. And so this kind of like company that SimGemini is more of my own little spin on that. It honestly started off initially as kind of like a corporate AI training company, solely that. But what I found was for corporate AI training, honestly, I don't know if I should say this on the podcast, but there's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of fluff kind of like going on. Because
we just saw one of the AI companies got popped because they actually weren't using AI at all, and they were using humans to do the work. Did you see this? And they lost their funding and all kinds of stuff.
It's bad. It's bad. And not only that, just kind of like contextually, right? Like AI in its modern iteration is effectively, it's like super autocomplete right now, and it's really just people are automating things. But the thing with automations is you can either amplify really, really good processes and positive processes, or really, really negative ones, and overcomplicate certain business systems and certain operations with AI, right? We don't want to overcomplicate with the technology. You know what's up? Yeah,
I'm just going to pick on some people
right
now.
No.
I'm going to pick on people.
No picking on people here. We don't bully people around here. What's going on?
Every single time I see somebody with an Android phone and a Windows computer, they are overcomplicating everything. It's so overcomplicated. It's like they have systems for systems for systems. It's almost like they have systems in order to feel like they're accomplishing things. Dude, you would have got it done more efficiently just having it be efficient.
Exactly.
Efficient and inefficiency. It's the crazy thing. It's so funny.
Exactly.
And I just, I use my Windows and or my Mac computer and my iPhone, and people are like, how are you so efficient? I don't have to do it twice. I just do it.
Just do it. Just do the work. And see, I feel like sometimes it's also kind of like that comes from a place of fear. Sometimes if we overcomplicate certain business systems, right? A fear of kind of like a lack of clarity, right? Sometimes, or thinking that we're actually getting something efficient done, but we're not. And so I feel like that's also one thing that we can really help businesses and people with in general, because people don't teach us how to build these systems all the time,
Well, people don't teach us any of this stuff. We have to figure it all out.
Right. It's just through experimentation, and I'm just like, nah. So that's same thing with AI. And a lot of this stuff. It's right now in its current iteration, it's really like a super autocomplete, and it's kind of like just augmenting people's intelligence.
Well, what we're dealing with right now is 1998, 1999 all over again. When we were just getting into the internet, and we were all getting on AOL and all that stuff, and we had all these different, like what happened to ICQ? What happened to AOL Instant Messenger? We had all these different forms of what is now social media, but they're all gone, right? And we were on Earthlink, and we were on Prodigy, and we were on all these different, we had GeoCities websites. All that stuff is gone. And so what we're dealing with is this new iteration of AI is essentially this whole thing all over again. It's just 30 years later. And so, a lot of the companies that we see today in 20 or 30 years, people are going to go, ChatGPT, I remember that. Whatever happened to them?
When Gen AI comes out, or like more
because Gemini is going to be the one that kills. Gemini is going to kill ChatGPT if they don't figure their stuff out. Like seriously. And you can see Gemini's getting better and better, and it's Google. You don't mess with Google.
No, for sure. And I mean, like right now, another thing is it's really peddled by a lot of like VCs, PEs, and everything like that, right? There's a lot of other back-end games that are kind of like going on now, and it's like more of a marketing hype type of thing. So it's like the .com bubble. There is like this AI stuff looks like a bubble because it is a bubble probably. But there are other things that definitely come from this technology that will definitely be useful. Like,
100%.
Like when we moved from kind of like, let's say from horses to cars, right? Like what happened to like all the horse and carriages about 100 years ago, right? So it's just going to be really, really
Well, I
interesting
keep telling
to see,
people, quit messing with apps. Quit playing with apps because apps is antiquated. If you can build an app in an afternoon on AI or ChatGPT or whatever, then it means everyone's doing it. That means that it's old way of thinking. And the devices, why isn't Apple designing something new and innovative? Because they're thinking about what's next. And personally, I think it's going to be wearable tech. I think that we're all going to be looking at what Meta is doing. I think it's going to be essentially the future. And we've been messing around with this. Google had their glasses for like 5 minutes. And Meta was trying to do the metaverse. There's been all these different iterations. But if you go back to early video games in the 90s, we had the thing that we put on our head, that augmented reality. So it's not an old idea. But I think that with where everything is going now, that we can have that fighter jet kind of thing going on our windshield in our car and our motorcycle helmets and our sunglasses. I think that's where everything is going to go. We're going to be going to wearable tech, and AI is going to be what's really facilitating a lot of that in a form that that'll be more seamless. We won't go to a place to say, I need to like ChatGPT or Gemini. It's just going to automatically be there.
No, absolutely. That's a very interesting take, and definitely like with Apple Vision Pro and things like that, just crazy what some of these things can do. And I also think that just one more thing that'll become really important in this upcoming era is more just there is AI, but there's also HI, right? The human intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
And learning kind of like...
Human intelligence is so far beyond what AI is.
Yeah, right.
It really is. But AI can compute faster, but the human intelligence is the actual answer.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And just like that will always be a thing, right? Like learning self-mastery and then kind of like learning how to kind of like just deal with our own intelligence, our consciousness, our thoughts, and just... I feel like in this upcoming era, that's going to be very, very important because AI augments intelligence, right?
Yes,
So it's just kind of like, how do we augment our human intelligence? How do we categorize our thoughts or monitor them? Or how do we just become more skillful with that, right?
I love this. This is so cool. Why are you so passionate about this space, man?
It's less about the space. It's more about the people. It's more about the people, about just kind of like the fundamentals of business, right? Like it's just... I guess AI, artificial intelligence, and tech right now is the business of our era, the business of our time. If we asked about 100 years ago, it probably would have been like oil or tea or coconut rubber, those types of things. Now it's more about this. This is just like another iteration of the game, I guess, the game of business. But it's really about the people at the core of everything, right? Like figuring out how to build out business systems that empower individuals, to lift them up, and to give them the power to help others, right? Building out those types of business systems or those social systems that really function to give people opportunity to live for something, and healthy, skillful ones, right? Where they really feel fulfilled, clear, and happy with the work that they're doing, right? That's it. That's really like what the main driver is, just empowering people. And why is that important? I guess, there's a lot of just good that I've seen. I've seen really, really good people, really good mentors, really good gurus, mentors.
Let me ask you something. How old are you?
32.
32. How long have you been in this space now?
About 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you got into this space, were you going to networking events like 5-6 years ago?
Honestly, yes, a lot. But
do you notice that the people today are better than they were 5 or 6 years ago?
People are people, and it's going to depend on the environment and everything. There's always light in people, right? It's kind of like what I say.
But I go to these events. I went to events, years ago too. But I feel like this is before COVID. I feel like the people that we're connecting with are on just a whole different level than they were 10 years ago and 5 years ago. Just on a whole different level. I mean, they're just they're hungrier, they're harder working, they're more focused, they're just more ready for this stage. And I don't mean better as in like, oh, well, they have a better personality. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about from an entrepreneurial perspective. Their feet are more firmly planted today than they were 5 years ago and 10 years ago. I've been in this 30 years. And so I've seen a lot of people come and go over the years. And I've been doing this radio show for 12 years. And so if I look at the people that I've had come through these radio shows, no disrespect, we'd have a realtor come and I go, why are you in real estate? Oh, because the money's good. That's the wrong thing to say, dude. Why did you just give me $500 to come onto my radio show for you to make a fool of yourself? Mm-hmm. It's a completely different mindset that I'm seeing today. We're having this conversation with you, the conversation that we just had with Curvin. I mean, you look at the mindset on these people, and it's just miles over where the mindset was 5 or 10 years ago. I don't know. That's why I was asking.
I mean, you definitely talk to a lot more people, so maybe you have something there. But I honestly, from my side, I don't see that. I see it very constant, very consistent, and it's more about the individuals, the people, and the circles, I guess, that you go and talk
Very
with.
interesting. And again, there's no disrespect to those people.
Yeah, 100%.
We've had some amazing people over. I mean, we've had some incredible people over the years.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing are the people that are coming through here. The consistency is they're all blowing me away. They're just it's mind blowing. Sometimes I talk to these people and I'm like, how are you not a billionaire? Like I talk to you, maybe you are, but I talk to you and I'm thinking you have so much to offer. Why are you here? And maybe I'm just better now and people want to be a part of it. I don't know.
I think that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is.
No, but seriously though. So what are you looking for? What type of clients are you looking for, man?
Great question. Anybody that wants to figure out how to use AI in the context of their business or not to future-proof their business. And honestly, anybody that says, hey, I need a clone of myself. Because it's a huge competitive advantage to be able to kind of like just delegate offshore, especially over to countries like Sri Lanka, if you know how to do it. India, Sri Lanka, it's wonderful. But there is an art form to it. So anybody that needs that type of
Okay, so let me ask you, how does it work with the language barrier and so forth?
Gosh, that is the biggest issue for me.
Because we call the bank,
right.
And you call the bank, and no disrespect, but I'm like, I'm trying to give you my information phonetically, and you don't know the alphabet.
Exactly. So this is the biggest issue for me, because the thing is, I'm very, very diligent and thorough in terms of how we can onboard. And they're wonderful people, but if they cannot speak in kind of like English, if they can't communicate in English, it ain't good. So I do a very, 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 very tight, thorough vetting process for that. Even though there's so many good people, and that's one thing I want to help out more.
Well, you could if they don't speak the language, you can put them behind the scenes. They don't need to be on customer service.
Because the thing is, I'm very like, no matter what, like I can still speak in Sinhala, but I was born and raised here, right? So like I'm extremely sensitive to that, and like if you can't coach an individual, you won't be able to kind of like get the best out of them, right? And help them to really uplift and empower them to help the customers, right? So everybody knows English like tight, basically, is the thing. That's one huge vetting thing that I do. You just have to, and there are ways basically that you can do.
How long did you live over there?
2 years. Okay, so I lived there for 2 years straight, effectively kind of like picking up everything. But I went on and off when I was like younger, to kind of like just
with your parents,
with my parents, family vacations, things like that. But yeah, I lived there for 2 years straight.
How was it?
It was like night and day. There's beauty in both the night and day, right? And very different, very wonderful, but also very kind of like just humbling in a way.
How far is Sri Lanka from India?
It's right next to it. They're like semi-connected with the land bridge, but like it's like a little island off the coast of India.
One of our really, really great members is Viksa Roy. He's a local bookkeeper. Super handsome fellow. My God. handsome fellow. But he's from India. And he lived there. He moved here when he was, he's told me 5 times now. I want to say 10 or 11 when he came here. And, I mean, just, I want to get you two of you guys connected. No, seriously. Sure. No, that's the whole point of everything that we're doing is connecting people.
Appreciate
Boom.
That. Thank
we
you.
just connect people. So talk to me about your book. You've got a new book coming out.
Right. So I do have a new book coming out, and it's Buddhism Applied to Artificial Intelligence.
Okay.
I'm co-authoring it with the head monk of my temple, Bhante Silawinada. So he's amazing. He's like literally amazing, like one of the best monks ever.
So you're Buddhist?
I am Buddhist. Well, I'm born and raised Buddhist, and I am Buddhist, kind of like identify with that. But when you're Buddhist, you don't really like identify as a Buddhist, because it's really about kind of like the skillfulness that you develop, right?
I grew up in a very horrible situation, but we had everything as kids. You know, we had collections. Everything was a collection.
Life of Pi style.
Just American way.
Yeah.
And so I spent the first, 15 years, 20 years of 15 years of my adult life collecting everything. I had a collection of cars, collection of watches, collection of guitars, everything was a collection. And so it was about 5 years ago my wife and I became minimalists. And
love it.
And it makes life so much easier.
100%.
You don't stress about stuff.
Yeah.
Number one, you don't buy crap that you don't need. But it's like I used to have to wear a certain watch in order to feel more like a man, or have to have a certain car to feel more like a man.
Not like
or a
that.
certain
Detach,
guitar.
huh?
Yes. Well, no. Now I can wear a $40 watch, and I'm like, who cares? It's a
There you
$40
go.
watch.
There
yeah.
you go.
Or I used to have Porsches. I had a beautiful car collection.
Wonderful.
And so, I had multiple Porsches and Mercedes and BMWs and so forth. And now I just drive a Buick. And I don't care.
I love
and I just live my life.
To each their own.
I just do my thing. And so I've it's funny is I've looked more and more into Buddhism, but I still have the Christian flavor, I guess you can say. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person. Very spiritual. I'm not a prayer. Right. I'm not a prayer, but I do thank my lucky stars every single day that after 30 years I can still do this stuff, right? And so I don't know. I would like to maybe discuss that with you a little down the line or something, and talk about what that more, and maybe I think more understand what it is.
100%. I know, absolutely here to help. And even for the book, right? Like, it's Buddhism applied to kind of like artificial intelligence, so machine consciousness and things like that, right? And just drawing some insights, not only from Buddhism, right? Like also from Hindu, the Abrahamic faith, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, whatever it is, and trying to make something good for people. 100% of the proceeds will go to charity, like basically to the temple.
See, I told you you're a billionaire.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Really good mentalist.
He's like, I'm not a billionaire. I just have $200,000 in the bank.
No, what are you talking about? No. But basically, like, that's the thing, just really helping people out, because I feel like moving forward, there's a lot of kind of like important insights from metacognition and ethics that can be applied, right, to this AI stuff that pops up when AGI, when superintelligence, like when these more like things that look less like calculators and more like creatures start to pop up, right? So how do you deal with that? What are the ethical implications? So the monk, Bhante Silavimla, he is amazing and really just instant when I ask him certain questions about this stuff, and a good bridge, I feel like, hopefully just to help people out as they flesh out this technology,
Very interesting.
Yeah.
When this book comes out, I want to read it.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm dead serious. I want to read it, and then, and of course, I'm going to want to bring you back because you're just a wealth of knowledge. It's just really good stuff.
Thank you so much.
The last thing on my list here, you were talking about power and family dynamics. Explain this to me.
One of the most important things, kind of like I feel like that I grew up with in a unique way, right, was people, as you said, they kind of like want to get this thing, get that thing, to feel a particular way. We're socially conditioned to feel in particular ways.
Well, we're in El Dorado Hills. Everyone has to have a G-Wagon and Botox.
Things like that, right?
Yeah.
And just kind of like these power systems, these power dynamics that we were kind of like just born into, and we were never really taught to like examine or understand, right? And I've seen the fallacies in that growing up, because I've been very blessed and lucky with just family. Family has been an important aspect of my life, just kind of like growing up. And I've seen things because of family that I feel like just, are different a little bit different, and give some insights. Like in Sri Lanka, my family from both sides, they're very, let's say, interesting individuals. On my dad's side, my great-grandfather, so my father's father's father, was a very interesting business individual. I had a whole bunch of tea, coconut, and rubber plantations, and he was pretty good at it. And then on the other side, on my mom's side, my mom's dad's dad, he was a polyglot, right? So he was very well connected and did a whole bunch of different things. Very brilliant guy. Both of them did philanthropy in different ways, and helped out people, right? And both of them also accumulated a lot of power, but also lost a lot of power in the context of their lives in their lifetime. For one of them, that happened afterwards. Basically, yeah, that's a story for another day. But basically, I've just seen the fallacies kind of like and the human follies that go about in just the accumulation of power and not giving it to others and not empowering other individuals, and how power can kind of like corrupt people. So my great grandfather on my father's side, basically he was at the pinnacle of business, right? Like think really, really good. And then just one bad government takes everything out, like 95% of it, right? So then how do you kind of like restructure around that, right? And just helping people, truly being true to oneself and kind of like not letting power and greed corrupt individuals, I think is something that people need to talk about more. But maybe that's beyond the context of this discussion.
No, this is
something
really incredible. Really incredible. You know, you are just, dude.
I know.
When's your book supposed to be out?
You know, it's supposed to be out like ASAP. It's when I can get a hold of the sadhu, the monk, right? Bhante Sadhu. Like he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I'm actually gonna like head out and head over and meet him just like right after this. But maybe I'd say in 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months. That's the time frame I have for that one.
Yeah, when you're done, you just let me know, dude. No, seriously. I've done a lot of books. Books are our bread and butter.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
100%.
Suren Dias, if you're looking for staffing, symgemini.com, 925-293-6811, 925-293-6811. Dude, thank you so much for being here.
Sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Dude, incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. And if you guys don't see or feel this energy, my God, dude, you've got to meet this man. Just incredible. Incredible. And yeah, very rare. You're very rare. Have you always been this way?
I have no idea.
Were you always just happy? Were you a happy kid?
You know, I feel like, yeah, but that's just something that we're supposed to like just be, right? We can choose to be.
I don't know. I'm a grumpy guy, dude.
No,
I'm a grumpy guy.
Everybody has the power to find the light in everything, right? Like that's the thing. No matter what the situation or no matter what you feel, right? That's just a blessing in and of itself, and you just find the light in every situation. I feel like that's it. That's it. And just I don't know. Be chill. Be relaxed.
That's the Buddha in you.
No. No. And I feel like good teachers have also showed me that, right? Just how to just be delightful and be kind and spread that fire and warmth to other individuals.
Dude, seriously.
That light, right?
Dude.
So
you need to package this up and and you won't sell it. You'll give it to people.
Yeah.
Package it up and give it to people.
No.
Incredible. Hey, thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.